You know what they say about it? What they say, third time's the charm. I swear to God, when you do shit by yourself, it's so hard to get this bitch right. Hey, yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy, okay? Everything is oh skirt. Stop your shit. We back again, episode 2. Thank you for everybody that gave me a lot of love in the first episode. Everybody that reposted or shared it. Anybody that commented. That's what's up. I really appreciate the love. And obviously, you can see I'm just coming from a place of, I just want to talk some shit. Well, not all the time, sometimes. Most of the time. Yeah, probably like a good 70% of the time. Half the shit is just talking shit. But today, I wanted to talk to you guys. You guys influenced me to dig a little bit deeper about these conversations I have with myself. So I wanted to talk to you guys on something called CTE. It stands for chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Oh, I think I got it right without looking at it. But yeah, we're gonna call it CTE from now. For now, basically, it's when you take too many hits to your brain and your brain sloshes around in your head, and we all know your brain's not supposed to move. That's what your skull is for, to protect it. So there's been instances in documented in our past in our history where this just came about in 2015. They put a movie out with Will Smith as the main actor. He played a doctor called Dr. Bennett Amalu, and that doctor, he discovered that there was a problem in the NFL world, that that NFL players at later ages in their life were having motor issues, were having problems. So this NFL player in the movie, his name is too, because I want to give much respect to David Duerson. I hope I say his name correctly. Pardon me. David Duerson, two-time NFL champ with Chicago Bears and the Giants, loses his own life. He was 50 years old. He shot himself in the chest so that this way his brain can be viewed by doctors, because he felt like there was something wrong in here. So coming off of like that in 2015, it kind of struck me. I'm like, wow, it's crazy. Blows to the head can change a person's character. Blows to the head can change how a person thinks and feels inside. So dramatic in the sense where after I saw that movie Concussion, I kind of was taken back by NFL, because I know those men are warriors and they put themselves on the line and they make the choices to do these things. I get it, but to a certain extent, um, damn, you guys are real gladiators. You guys are risking your life and your livelihood, whether it be for momentary success, whether it be because football is just what you're good at. But that's you. You guys are sick, man. You guys are crazy. I find it, and who am I to tell you? Who's anybody to tell anybody not to do what they want to do? If you guys want to go out there and bang your heads, I'll be watching football every Sunday, just like the other million Americans that do. I do find it entertaining, but I do at the same time find it a little bit harsh and sad for you guys, that you guys have to put your bodies through that trauma. That trauma is real. And it's weird because people put themselves through a mental trauma, people put themselves through certain physical traumas, but you're immediately putting yourself in some fire, jumping as a offensive lineman and going ahead and clashing like fucking titans, like two fucking huge irons banging against each other. Your brains are going. You guys are taking the ultimate risk. Ultimate risk. It truly is. I appreciate to watch it, but on the other end, as a fan too, I am scared for you guys. It does suck to know that maybe my favorite NFL player at 50 years old won't have the cohesiveness or the cognitive abilities to deal with his family or talk or have interviews. Think about the Muhammad Ali's. Think about the. I've even seen. I've seen Evander stumble over words. You know what I mean? Because Evander Holyfield's a big head butter. There's a lot of people that lost their motor skills due to that type of mental trauma. And Dave Duerson went ahead and put a bullet in his chest just because he couldn't deal with the trauma anymore. Rest in peace. Big appreciation to the Dr. Bennett and Dave for bringing things like this to the light, so we have more notoriety to protect the people that do these things, so we can keep watching them. If too many people start dying in NFL, eventually it will fucking go away. We have to protect each other, especially even if we want the entertainment. We still can't be naive over the moment. Oh man, it gets me weary. I think about myself in those instances. Like, I've taken 3 blows to the head. I've had my head busted open 3 times. What's to say? Would I be a different person if I didn't bust my head open? That's crazy to say. But when you get a story like that, I don't know, my man put a bullet in his own chest. Put a bullet in his own chest. That says a lot. Moving on. So getting even deeper, one that got me recently, and this was probably like my slippery slope into this whole CTE thing, was Arron Hernandez. And Arron Hernandez played for the New England Patriots. He's a Pro Bowler, fucking won a ring, amazing NFL player, his whole career. You know, he had to live up to a career in a sense because his father played football. His father played football and was a very heavy, popular man. You know, Arron didn't come from no bullshit beginnings neither, from my understanding. Shout out to the Wondery podcast, because that's where I heard the story of him, to where he, you know, college player, all these accolades, who his father was, so what he had to look up to, and then the snap. You know, they accuse him of he's convicted of murder, I should say. He murdered Arron Hernandez was convicted of murder of Odin Lloyd. Arron Hernandez was convicted of murder of Odin Lloyd. So rest in peace to Odin Lloyd. But even in the Netflix series that I also saw, which is irony. After I hear something on like a podcast, I'll go ahead and see it on a Netflix series. Like, what were y'all calling me? But it's irony to see it. And when I saw it on Netflix, and to see he was also accused of a double homicide that got acquitted. And they have footage of him catching like a bitch fit. Or they have footage of him going into a club, and supposedly a story was that the man caught a bitch fit because another man spilled the drink on him. So they go from 1 minute that incident happening to the next minute those 2 gentlemen that supposedly spilled the drink dead. And of course, no murder weapon. The car found years later in his aunt's apartment. Get rid of the fucking vehicle, bro. Like, what are you doing? If you're gonna commit a murder, don't leave the fucking car in your aunt's crib. Burn that shit for insurance purposes, and nobody knows what happens to it. You know, I'm sorry, and I don't mean to sound any type of way, but I've watched too much fucking like Law and Order and Dexter and I'm not a killer, but goddamn, shit, that's like asking to be caught. So he gets convicted of murder, and I hear this podcast about him. I see the Netflix series about him, and at the end of all this stuff, you know, even in court, when you see him in court, he's not even remorseful. He's not even the least bit, like, he don't look remorseful. They have audio recordings of him talking to his wife. And him telling his wife, when I get back, bro, you're convicted of murder. You're an NFL player worth millions of dollars, and they're charging you with murder. They don't just come after people for murder. I think all those things honestly play into the fucking guys not being all there. You know, and say what you want. I know that you got people in life that excel in one thing and then maybe not be so hot in another. You know what I mean? You got people that are great book readers, but they suck in math. You got people that are world-class bodybuilders, but they're not so bright in one thing or the other. You got guys that are dope fishermen, but he can't tie his shoe properly. Okay? I know everybody has a niche and has the ability to excel in different areas. But there's totally different subjects when you have no humility. You have no empathy for the things that you've done. You have to take some type of responsibility for the things that you've done, especially when you've done them. You know, I can't say that if I was on trial for murder, I wouldn't go ahead and say, shit, I didn't do it neither. That wasn't me. I didn't do it neither. That wasn't me. I ain't do it neither. I can't say that I wouldn't do it. But I can't say I wouldn't make myself worse while I'm in jail, get a neck tattoo. You know what I'm saying? Like, do things like that to make yourself look, and it doesn't even make him look bad. I think the sad part about it is that we don't have the ability. When Arron Hernandez died and they examined his brain, doctor said that he had the worst brain they've ever seen with CTE. He had holes the size of Swiss cheese in his brain. Can you understand what that like, you know what your brain looks like? You maybe not know what it looks like. You can turn your eyeballs fucking behind your head, but you know what your brain looks like, G. You would hope that it's whole, like it's a whole piece of brain. My man had Swiss cheese holes. They said that they never seen before. I'm not giving him an excuse for murder. All right? I'm not giving the guy that shot himself in the chest an excuse to kill himself. I'm not giving excuse. But for us to be in the unknown with a disease or an unknown with a sickness, for us to be in the unknown, we can't ever know what really puts people in those positions to think that way and commit those atrocities like murder. Whether it be yourself or another, murder should never be right? So when I hear that about Hernandez, I get sad and I get worried and I get scared. And once we come out of this Corona shit and everybody starts playing and we have the ability to go out and do things again, it does bother me when you see 5-6-year-olds playing football and they're banging heads. When I see kids wrestle or kids, and I know, I don't want to be a hypocrite, but I do feel like fighting in some sense, you have a choice as far as you can learn how to defend yourself. With football, if you're an O-line defender, your job, even if you're a freaking middle linebacker, your job is to hit the next guy. Your head is but this big on a body, but for the chances that it connects over a 10 to 5 year career, think about what that's done to your fucking brain, to your fucking mental. Think about what it does to you. Along with all the stresses of your accolades and what you're going through and how to be better and better and better and better and better and better. I can't imagine what that shit'll do to a person's brain. And us not knowing so much about it, we shouldn't automatically, in my opinion, just put these people down. We're unaware what the fuck was wrong with them. There's been people that don't have CTE that are fucked up. Look at the Hitlers. Look at the Stalins. They weren't fighters. They weren't NFL players. They were just fucked up. What's their excuse? So for now, while we can actually give these people a little bit, and I think mental issue plays a huge role into what CTE can do to you. And I'll say that to bring up the last person that I want to speak about that was reflective on this subject of CTE for me. And that person was Chris Benoit. I'm going to light my blunt for this too, my last segment. Chris Benoit, when I saw it on Dark Side of the Ring, shout out to Dark Side of the Ring because they've been putting out so many great stories about all the wrestlers that are like, come on, if you're fucking 30, you used to watch wrestling. I don't give a fuck. You used to watch wrestling. Most of the dudes do. We got the end of it. Our parents put us onto it, especially our dads. Like, my stepdad put me onto that. I used to love Stone Cold. I used to love fucking Shawn Michaels. Yeah, I used to love DMX. Like, I loved wrestling for a long time in my life. Big Show, Kane, Undertaker. You kidding me? Like, I loved it. I love the drama of it. You can't make that shit up, especially when you're a kid. It's so great your parents will let you watch it because it's fake. A lot of parents won't let Kids watch UFC. That's real. When a guy gets his nose busted open, that shit's fucking legit. And seeing Dark Side of the Ring, I see that some of this shit was real sometimes. They actually got into arguments and fights. Chris Benoit, he really took a woman. His wife belonged to another man, and it was all supposed to be part of the gimmick. But he winds up really getting the woman. You things like that really do happen, and they play into a person's defects in their brain. Chris Benoit's story, from what I got from the Dark Side of the Ring, is his father was a wrestler. His father was a very famous wrestler, as was Arron Hernandez. His father was a famous football player. So these men had titles to live up to. So Chris Benoit became a wrestler, and became a damn good one. Became damn good one so much that he was so disciplined. 22 years work for promotions including World Wrestling Federation, WWE, WWF, WCW, ECW. He worked in Japan. Come on, give me a break. You can't tell me that the man wasn't in high demand. And he was short, bro. I think he was my height. 5'8". Short. I forgot who it was, but they said they had a match, and Chris Benoit, he tanked the kick, and it didn't look real enough. And when he went back to the locker room, he knocked on himself. He legit got mad at himself, and he started doing fucking Indian stand-ups or Indian curls, where you like go all the way to the bottom on Indian position, and then you stand up, and then you go all the way bottom. And the guy's like, "Why are you doing that?" He's like, "Yo, I fucked up the tank. I gotta do like 50 of these." That's discipline, bro. That's discipline. People that go to the gym, people that are good at their job, people that are good rappers, good singers, people that do their shit good, that's called being disciplined. You can't make it up. You can't duplicate it. All you can do is do it. If people that do something all the time, they become masters at it. And Chris Benoit became a master wrestler. But he was an empty soul from when my understanding, how I viewed it, until he found Eddie Guerrero. Finding Eddie Guerrero gave him, you're on the road 365 days a year. You don't see your wife. You don't see your kid. So even if you got them, that happiness is not immediately with you. It's not like you work a 9 to 5 and you come home to them. It's not like you do that. So if you really think about it, what he had to do was be lonely. And he found a friend in Eddie Guerrero. And him and Eddie Guerrero didn't get along at first, but they wound up getting along. Being on the road together, being best friends, being together. And there's even been, I spoke among my friends, speaking with V, and there was a rumor, maybe they were lovers. Maybe they were lovers. Chavo Guerrero says in that Dark Side thing, he speaks about how when Eddie died, what it did to Chris was, it was like a spouse died. Things like that can, think about that. You feel alone in life. After your parents raise you, you're basically by yourself. And when you're so divulged into your job, like an actor and an athlete, because those pro wrestlers are actors and athletes. When they fucking go home at night, when they go to the milk barn or they go to 7-Eleven, and a person sees them, you think that person knows them for their fucking first name? That person knows them as their personality on stage. That must be so much pressure to perform in and out, time in and time out. You gotta perform. What if I'm just in a fucking Walmart with my family and I don't want to be this high-flying superstar? I want to be myself. It's a lot of pressure for them. I couldn't imagine it. And it's no excuse, because you got the successful ones. Hell, look at Triple H. I know you got the successful people that come up out of this. Stone Cold, I know you got the successful people. The Rock is probably the most successful one I know. Even John Cena, success. I know you get your success stories, but sometimes, as Dark Side of the Ring showed me, you get your tragedies. And when you get your tragedies, this man Chris Benoit lost his fucking mind, bro. Eddie Guerrero died, and it seems that he really lost his mind. He does a double murder suicide. He murders his wife and his fucking son. Like, that's disgusting. It's sad. And it's unimaginable. Like, it truthfully is unimaginable. Unless it wasn't documented and wasn't in our history as human beings. And that's the truth of the matter. Between Chris Benoit, Arron Hernandez, or let me get his name, or Dave Duerson, those three gentlemen, they all had issues in their brain with this disorder of CTE due to the fact of too many blows to the brain. If I know sometimes you can't always call the kettle black. Sometimes the handle's green. You sometimes it don't always blend. But goddamn, these are three instances where it's traumatic and it's documented, and it sucks that we don't have a test that I can go right now and check myself. Who, like I said in the beginning of this pod, I've been hit 3 times in the head. You know what I mean? I've had my head busted open 3 times, like severely anyway. And I've been lumped up before. I've fallen on the floor. And if it can happen from the first instant to the next, think about the people that don't have strong brains. Think about the people that aren't strong-willed. Think about the people that don't have the ability sometimes to have that let me not do something. Hold up, let me think twice about this. Some people just can't help it. Some people legit go crazy because their brain lost the ability to keep the functionality it needed for them to be good people. And I just don't think it's all their fault. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Criticize me if you want. And my apologies and my condolences to all the families involved and all the people that suffer from this disease. It does suck. I can't imagine. I hope I don't have it. I hope I don't have it, but I know that I'm nowhere near the severeness of what these warriors that throw themselves in the ring, these champions that play football, these hockey players, all these people that clash their brains for our entertainment to watch. I'm nothing like y'all. So I thank y'all for that, but I hope y'all stay safe. And if anybody got a problem with anything I just said, stop your shit. I'm the shit. Just give it up. I'm out of here, y'all. It's your boy, okay. Enjoy your, what's today? I think today's Monday. Damn, nigga. Today's Monday. This corona shit gotta stop. Off tangent. For the first 10 people, out of the first 10 people that subscribe to me, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment. I don't care if you put like your, hello, hi. This was whack. Yo, G, I will even send this to a person that criticized me. Just how real it is. Just how real it is. Just because I appreciate you taking the time to sit there and look at it. So anybody that for the first out of the first 10 people that comment, subscribe, I'm gonna send you guys a T-shirt. If you look at my Instagram, if you look at my merch store, you see I got a whole bunch of merch there. I have about maybe 10 designs. You could pick one of those designs. You let me know which one you want, and I'll send you a T-shirt and or a sticker of your choosing, your liking. Also tonight, look out for. I announced it on the first episode, but I'm gonna announce it on the second episode because I'm gonna drop it tonight. Look out for the song I did about my sister. It's called "Who Knows" because honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I just let the pen drip, like I told you guys before. But look out for that tonight. It's gonna be a dope song. These things are probably gonna premiere back to back. It's been looking good when I do it like that. Yeah, everything is okay. Have a good night, y'all.